Rain drizzled over Savannah's cobblestone streets, casting a soft glow on the Carver mansion. Lydia Carver stood at the iron gates, her small suitcase mudded at her feet. 32, with sharp brown eyes and hair pulled back, she looked more weary than her years. 10 years had passed since she left this place, swearing never to return. But her mother Evelyn's death 2 weeks ago had dragged her back, against every instinct screaming to stay away. Lydia had never fit with the Carvers. Her father, Robert, died when she was a kid, leaving Evelyn to steer the family's real estate empire. Evelyn was steel-sharp, distant, a woman who commanded respect but rarely gave it. Lydia, the youngest, always felt like an outsider. Her brother James, 38, was the unspoken heir, managing the family's wealth with cold precision. Sophie, 35, the middle child, was a painter drowning in resentment and cheap wine. Evelyn's death, ruled a heart attack, should be been the end of their tangled drama. But a letter from the family lawyer, Henry Wells, changed everything. Lydia stepped into the foyer, the scent of old wood and lavender hitting her like a memory. The mansion was a labyrinth of antique portraits and spiraling staircases, frozen in time. James met her at the door, his suit crisp, his smile forced. "You're late," he said, no warmth in his tone. Lydia shrugged. "Flight got delayed." "Where's the will?" James nodded toward the parlor, where Sophie slouched on a velvet sofa, a glass of red in her hand. The parlor was all dark wood and heavy curtains, the kind of room that swallowed secrets. Henry Wells stood by the fireplace, his thin frame hunched, glasses slipping down his nose. "Miss Carver," he said, nodding at Lydia. "I'm glad you made it." Sophie snorted, not looking up. "Yeah, the prodigal daughter returns." "What's it been, a decade?" Lydia ignored her, taking a seat. "Let's get this over with." Wells cleared his throat, unfolding a document. "Evelyn's will is unconventional. The estate properties, investments, liquid assets is to be split equally among you three, but only after a condition is met." James leaned forward, eyes narrowing. "What condition?" Wells hesitated, then handed Lydia a small, sealed envelope. "You're to open this in private, Lydia. It's from your mother." She was specific. Lydia's fingers tightened around the envelope. Sophie laughed, bitter. "Of course, little Lydia gets special treatment." "Typical." James shot her a look. "Enough, Sophie." Lydia tucked the envelope into her pocket, her gut telling her this was no ordinary letter. "What else?" she asked Wells. He adjusted his glasses. "You're to stay here, all three of you, for 1 month. If you leave, your share is forfeited." The room went quiet, the rain outside louder than ever. Sophie slammed her glass down. "A month here with them." James's jaw clenched, but he said nothing. Lydia felt the weight of the envelope, her mother's final move in a game she didn't understand. "Fine," she said, standing. "I'll stay." That night, Lydia locked herself in her old bedroom, the walls still papered with faded roses. She tore open the envelope, expecting a letter. Instead, she found a key, small, brass, with a carved initial, C. A folded note was tucked beneath it, Evelyn's elegant script unmistakable, "Find the safe, Lydia. It's where the truth begins." Lydia's heart raced. Evelyn had always been cryptic, but this felt different, urgent, almost desperate. She knew the safe. It was in her mother's study, a room always locked, even when Lydia was a child. She grabbed a flashlight and crept downstairs, the mansion creaking under her steps. The study door was ajar, which was wrong. Evelyn never left it open. Inside, the air was thick with dust. Bookshelves loomed, stuffed with ledgers and old photos. The safe was hidden behind a painting of the Savannah riverfront, its dial gleaming. Lydia tried the key, but it didn't fit. She scanned the note again, then noticed a faint underline beneath truth. On a hunch, she checked the desk, finding a hidden drawer. Inside was a leather journal, its pages filled with Evelyn's handwriting. The first entry was dated a year ago. "They're lying to me. The accounts don't add up. Someone's bleeding us dry, and I think it's one of them." Lydia's breath caught. Her mother hadn't died of a heart attack. She'd been digging into something dangerous, something tied to the family. A floorboard creaked behind her. Lydia spun, flashlight catching a shadow in the doorway. "Who's there?" she called, voice sharp. No one answered, but the shadow vanished, leaving only the sound of footsteps fading down the hall. Lydia clutched the journal, her mother's words burning in her mind. Whatever Evelyn had found, it was worth killing for. Lydia didn't sleep. The journal stayed under her pillow, its weight heavier than the brass key. By dawn, she'd read half of it, each entry a piece of a puzzle. Evelyn had been tracking money, millions siphoned from the Carver accounts. Offshore transfers, shell companies, names Lydia didn't recognize. One entry chilled her: "James knows. He's covering for someone." Breakfast was tense. The dining room, with its crystal chandelier and long mahogany table, felt like a stage for their dysfunction. Sophie picked at her eggs, hungover, her blonde hair a mess. James read a newspaper, ignoring them both. Lydia watched him, Evelyn's words echoing. "You look tired, James," she said, testing him. He didn't look up. "Long night. You should rest, Lydia. You're not used to this place anymore." Sophie laughed, sharp. "Oh, please. She's probably plotting to take the whole estate." "Right, Lydia." Lydia met her sister's glare. "I just want what's ours." "Don't you?" Sophie's smirk faded, and she looked away. James folded his paper, standing. "I have calls to make." "Don't break anything, Sophie." He left, his footsteps heavy. Lydia followed him later, slipping into the east wing where his office was. The door was locked, but she'd learned to pick locks as a journalist covering shady deals. Inside, his desk was a mess of spreadsheets and bank statements. One caught her eye: a transfer of $2 million to a company called Lamplight Holdings. The name appeared in Evelyn's journal, linked to a Savannah politician, Marcus Tate. Lydia snapped photos with her phone, her pulse racing. Was James embezzling? She barely made it out before James returned, his voice on a call: "It's under control." She doesn't know. Lydia hid in a closet, heart pounding, until he left. Back in the study, she cross-referenced the journal. Evelyn had suspected Tate was blackmailing someone in the family, but she didn't know who. A later entry mentioned a locked room in the attic. "The letters are there. They'll ruin us." Lydia found the attic stairs behind a tapestry in the hall. The door was bolted, but the brass key fit perfectly. Inside, the attic was a maze of trunks and cobwebs, lit by a single bulb. She found a box marked EC filled with letters, some from Robert, her father, others from an unknown woman. One, dated 1985, was a bombshell: "You can't keep her from me, Evelyn. She's mine too." Lydia's hands shook. Her mother had hidden a secret child. Downstairs, Sophie was in the parlor, painting angrily on a canvas. Lydia hesitated, then showed her the letter. Sophie's face went pale. "This is a lie," she snapped, but her voice cracked. "Mom would ve told me." Lydia pressed her. "Would she? You were always fighting." "What if she didn't trust you?" Sophie threw her brush down. "Get out." Lydia went to Wells next, finding him at his downtown office, a cluttered space smelling of coffee and old paper. "What do you know about Lamplight Holdings?" she asked, watching his reaction. Wells fidgeted, adjusting his glasses. "It's a client. Nothing unusual." Lydia leaned closer. "Don't lie to me, Henry. Mom was onto something, and it got her killed." Wells' eyes darted to the door. "You're wrong, Lydia. Let it go." Back at the mansion, Lydia found a new entry in the journal, written days before Evelyn's death. "I saw her. She's here, watching. She wants what's hers." Lydia's skin crawled. The secret child wasn't just a rumor. She was in Savannah. That night, she heard footsteps again, closer this time. She locked her door, but a note slid underneath: "You're digging too deep." No signature, just a faint scent of lavender, Evelyn's perfume. The note kept Lydia awake, its words seared into her mind. She hid it in the journal, now her lifeline. The mansion felt alive, its creaks and shadows mocking her. She needed answers, but trust was a luxury she couldn't afford. James was hiding something, Sophie was unraveling, and Wells was a liar. The secret child, her half-sibling, was the key. Lydia started with Marcus Tate. She tracked him to a gala at Savannah's City Hall, slipping in with a press pass. Tate was slick, all smiles and handshakes, but his eyes were cold. She cornered him by the bar, dropping Lamplight Holdings into the conversation. His smile faltered. "You're Evelyn's girl, aren't you?" he said, voice low. "Careful, sweetheart. Some questions get you hurt." He walked away, but Lydia saw him signal a man in a dark suit, who followed her out. Back at the mansion, Lydia dug deeper into the attic letters. One mentioned a woman named Clara Dane, a name Evelyn had circled in the journal. Public records showed Dane lived in Savannah until 1990, then vanished. A birth certificate, tucked in the box, listed a girl, Anna, born to Clara in 1987. No father named, but the timing fit. Was Anna the child Evelyn had hidden? Lydia confronted James in his office, slamming the birth certificate down. "Who's Anna?" she demanded. James's face hardened. "You're out of your depth, Lydia. Drop it." She didn't back down. "Mom thought you were stealing. Were you paying Clara off or Anna?" James stood, towering over her. "You want the truth?" Mom was paranoid. She saw enemies everywhere. Including you. He stormed out, leaving Lydia shaken. Sophie was next. Lydia found her in the garden, sketching the oak trees. "I know about Anna," Lydia said. Sophie's pencil snapped. "You're obsessed," she hissed. "Mom's dead. Let her rest." But her eyes were wet, and Lydia saw fear, not anger. "Sophie, if you know something, tell me. We're in this together." Sophie laughed, bitter. "We've never been together." Lydia turned to the safe again, using the journal's clues to crack the combination: Evelyn's birthday. Inside was a flash drive and a photo of a young girl, maybe 10, with Lydia's eyes. The back read, Anna, 1997. The flash drive held bank records transfers to Clara Dane, then to an account in Anna's name, signed by James. Lydia's stomach churned. Her brother was neck-deep in this. She called Wells, meeting him at a diner. Anna's alive, isn't she? Lydia said, sliding the photo across the table. Wells sighed, looking older than ever. Evelyn wanted her protected. Your father, he wasn't faithful. Anna was his mistake. Lydia's chest tightened. And Mom covered it up. Wells nodded. Until she couldn't. Anna came back last year, demanding her share. That night, the mansion's power cut out. Lydia heard glass shatter downstairs. She grabbed the journal and flash drive, creeping to the parlor. A woman stood there, silhouetted against the window. Lydia, she said, voice soft but firm. I'm Anna. Before Lydia could speak, headlights flashed outside, and Anna bolted, leaving a single word scrawled on the wall, trust. Anna's appearance shattered Lydia's world. She was real, flesh and blood, not just a name in a letter. Lydia spent the next day locked in the study, the flash drive's records painting a grim picture. James had funneled millions to Anna, but not out of guilt. Someone was pulling his strings. Marcus Tate's name appeared again, tied to threats in Evelyn's journal. He'll destroy us if she talks. Lydia tracked Anna to a rundown motel on Savannah's outskirts, using a phone number from the flash drive. Anna was wary, her dark hair pulled back, her face a mirror of the photo. You shouldn't be here, she said, glancing at the door. Lydia held up the journal. Mom wanted me to find you. Why are you hiding? Anna's eyes softened, but only for a moment. Your family ruined mine. Evelyn paid my mother to disappear. I want what's mine. Anna's story spilled out. Clara, her mother, had been Robert's mistress. Evelyn, to save the family's name, forced Clara out of Savannah, raising Anna in secret until Clara died. Anna returned, demanding her inheritance. Evelyn resisted, then started digging into the accounts, uncovering Tate's blackmail. James made a deal, Anna said. He paid Tate to keep me quiet. But Evelyn found out, and she trailed off, eyes distant. Lydia finished it. She was killed. Anna nodded. Tate's men. James didn't pull the trigger, but he let it happen. Lydia's mind reeled. Her brother, a coward at best, a murderer at worst. She gave Anna the flash drive. Help me expose them. Anna hesitated, then agreed. But we need Sophie. Getting Sophie on board was harder. Lydia found her in the parlor, drunk, her painting slashed. You're with her now, Sophie slurred, seeing Anna. Lydia grabbed her shoulders. Sophie, Mom died for this. Tate's playing us all. We need you. Sophie laughed, tears streaming. I knew about Anna. Mom told me. I hated her for it. But she sobered, nodding. Fine. What's the plan? The plan was risky, leak the flash drive to the press, naming Tate and James. Lydia used her journalist contacts, but they needed hard proof. The attic had one last secret: a hidden camera Evelyn had installed, its footage on a second drive in the safe. It showed Tate in the mansion, arguing with Evelyn days before her death. His words were clear: stop digging, or you're done. They were ready to send it when Wells showed up, his face grim. You're making a mistake, he said. Lydia didn't blink. You knew, Henry. You let her die. Wells sighed. I tried to warn her. Tate's untouchable. Anna stepped forward, voice cold. Not anymore. Wells left, but not before slipping Lydia a note. Check the basement. The basement was a damp maze of crates and old furniture. Behind a false wall, Lydia found a ledger, Evelyn's final evidence, detailing Tate's entire operation. But as they climbed the stairs, the front door burst open. Tate's men, armed, were inside. Lydia grabbed Anna and Sophie, bolting for the attic. They were trapped, the truth in their hands, but time running out. The attic was a fortress, but not for long. Lydia barricaded the door, her hands shaking as Tate's men pounded below. Anna clutched the ledger, Sophie the drives. We're dead, Sophie whispered, her bravado gone. Lydia shook her head. Not yet. We finish this. She pulled out her phone, uploading the footage and ledger to her editor, hitting send as the door splintered. Flashback to Evelyn's journal. If I fall, the truth must live. Lydia understood now. Her mother had known the risks, had chosen to fight. The upload finished, but the men broke through. Tate himself stepped in, his smile venomous. You're just like her, he said, gun raised. Too stubborn. Anna moved first, throwing a lamp. Chaos erupted. Lydia tackled Sophie behind a trunk, grabbing a rusty candlestick. She swung, catching one thug's jaw. Anna fought like a cornered animal, but Tate was calm, his gun steady. Give me the ledger, he said. Lydia laughed, breathless. It's gone. The world knows. Tate's face twisted, but before he could fire, sirens wailed. Wells had called the cops, his note a final act of redemption. Tate's men scattered, but he lunged for Lydia. Sophie, in a burst of courage, tripped him, sending him crashing. Anna pinned him, her knee on his chest. For my mother, she hissed. The police swarmed, cuffing Tate and his men. Lydia handed over the drives, the ledger, everything. James was arrested later, his betrayal laid bare. He de-sold Evelyn out to save himself, too weak to fight Tate. Sophie broke down, guilt eating her alive. I should ve helped Mom, she sobbed. Lydia hugged her, the first time in years. Anna stayed, but not as a Carver. I don't want your name, she told Lydia. Just my life back. They worked together, sorting the estate, selling what wasn't tainted. The mansion became a community center, Sophie's paintings on its walls, a tribute to Evelyn. Lydia wrote the story, her article going viral, exposing Tate's empire. One night, Lydia stood in the study, the brass key in her hand. The safe was empty now, its secrets free. She looked at Evelyn's photo, her mother's eyes fierce even in death. You won, Lydia whispered. The rain had stopped, and Savannah's lamplights glowed, casting long shadows that no longer scared her.